Hello, everyone. I'm Amy. I'm 18, and my house is a real dump. There's nothing in it worth stealing, but my mom still locks the door. One time, I went to school and forgot my house keys, and she had left for a couple of days to visit her friend. I had to live outside, and she didn't give a damn. But it completely changed my life, and now I'm going to tell you how. It wasn't the first time that Mom had left. The previous time, she had left me without even money for food, but at least I got to sleep in my own bed. This time, all I could do was lie on the porch by the door. The only relative I have is an uncle, but his number was out of service. After school, I was sitting and thinking about who else I could call when I noticed that the most notorious school heartthrob was staring at me again. I immediately felt uneasy. For several years, Carter, that's his name, and his friends on the football team had bullied me. They made fun of how I dressed, where I lived. They called my mom a loser and me a bum. Recently, it had stopped, and Carter started looking at me more, but I didn't know why. I knew I might like it. I usually got attention from guys who didn't know how poor I was and didn't notice the holes in my clothes at first. But it was hard for me to imagine that Carter liked me. He only dated popular girls. I headed towards home. I had been wandering for about an hour when Carter suddenly drove up beside me in his car. He told me that my shack was still around the next corner, so where was I going? I didn't answer. Then he offered to give me a ride. Again, I didn't answer. I felt that it would be better if I didn't get in with him. Then he revved his engine a little, put it in park, and got out. He spoke to me kindly, which I didn't even know he was capable of, and told me that I had nothing to fear and that he would just give me a ride. To get him off my back, I agreed and told him to take me home. The car was comfortable, and I relaxed. My favorite song came on, and I closed my eyes. Then he put his hand on my knee. The snob was trying to humiliate me again. I was terrified and even had the thought to open the door and jump out. But he laughed and said, "Relax. You're not my type. I wanted to make sure that you were awake." Once I had calmed down, I told Carter about the stupid situation with the locked door. He thought for a minute and then offered to let me spend the night at his house. I thought about it and thought some more, and then hesitantly said, "Okay, fine. I'll stay at your place tonight." He didn't seem as bad to me as I had thought before. He took me to his room. I had never seen such luxury. Carter first suggested that I take a shower. I locked the shower door, hoping it would stop him if he decided to come in. I was still afraid that he might want to take advantage of me. When I got out of the shower, I saw that I was right to feel that way. Carter's mouth hung open when he saw me. I knew what he was thinking, and I wanted to run away again. But he settled into a chair across from me and let me have the bed. We lay in silence, and then he asked when my mother would be coming back. I told him I didn't know for sure. Then he said that I could stay as long as I wanted. I didn't even know how to react. He started asking about my family, what I like to do, what I love. When I was talking about how Dad left us, he suddenly laid down next to me. I immediately jumped up, but he said he wouldn't bother me. It was just that he couldn't hear from the armchair. Plus, it wasn't as comfortable there as on the bed. I don't remember how, but I fell asleep. When I woke up, Carter was sitting on the chair across from me and looking at me. "Well, aren't you a sleepyhead?" he said. It was 11 o'clock! I had slept through school for the first time! I quickly started packing my stuff, but it turned out that Carter had already planned our day. After a simply divine breakfast, he took me to a store. He told me that I could choose whatever I wanted. I didn't believe he was serious. After all, I was used to having to choose between ripped jeans and a worn dress. I hesitated to accept such a gift, so Carter said that he would choose everything himself. He offered me an incredibly extravagant dress, which you could only wear to the Met Gala, so I took over from there. We bought so many things. dresses, a jacket, shoes, and even underwear, and a new phone. I had never been so happy. It was like Christmas, and Carter was my own personal Santa. I couldn't even believe that this was the same guy who had terrified me for so many years. And then we went for a drive. We drove 200 miles, listening to music and chatting. And then we stopped in a field, and he started taking pictures of me. And then we kissed for the first time. And not only kissed. When we got into the car, he took me back to his place. The next day, when we came to school, he took me by the hand, in front of everyone. I was so embarrassed and avoided him the rest of the day. I couldn't believe this was really happening. I was absolutely not a match for him. Wasn't he embarrassed to be seen with me in front of his friends? And then I got a message from my mom that she was back. I didn't want to go home, but I had no more reason to stay with Carter. But when I told him, he didn't want to let me go. He said that he wanted me to live with him. Period. For almost a month now, I've been going back to my house only occasionally, and the rest of the time I spend at Carter's house. Mom tells me all the time that he's playing with me, that it's all a big game for rich people, to take girls from the street and make princesses out of them, and that soon he would get tired of me and would throw me out, and I would be left with a broken heart. I'm really worried that that's going to happen someday. That was my story. I live with him for now. What do you think about this?
Hi, I'm Marion. I'm 19, and the craziest thing happened to me yesterday. I got stuck in an elevator with the guy that I've been madly in love with for 3 whole years. Brad is so smart, so handsome, so popular, and I'm afraid to even talk to him. Imagine that you end up trapped with the man of your dreams in an elevator. Do you know what that's like? It's like being in space without an oxygen tank. Brad pushed the emergency button and kicked the door. It seems like we'll be here for a while. Oh, no! We retreated into our phones to pass the time. I tried to think of something to talk about, but my head was as empty as the Gobi Desert. At that moment, Brad started laughing. I looked at him. Look at this funny picture. It was a picture of a cute corgi dressed as Batman. Underneath the caption was, "This city needs a hero." Oh, look! Something to talk about! Do you like dogs? Brad immediately stopped looking at his phone. Yes, I really do. I have a lab and I'm trying to dress him up, but it isn't working out so well. Before long, we were already happily chatting about dogs. I was so absorbed in our conversation, I even stopped blushing. After about 5 minutes, Brad complained. Ugh, I want a drink so bad. I wanted to buy some water, but I forgot. Next, I gave Brad a mint. Take it. If you eat it, your throat won't tickle anymore. When Brad took the mint, his fingers touched mine. What an unbelievable feeling! Brad wanted to drink, but I had the opposite problem. I drank too much, and now I needed to go to the bathroom. And it got worse every minute. I crossed my legs and started rocking. What's wrong? My back hurts. My muscles are asleep. Brad then took a plastic bag out of his pocket, turned it inside out, and put it on the floor. I didn't want to sit, but this was Brad. He put down a bag for me. Of course, I sat down and needed to go to the bathroom even more. And the light went on in the elevator. I shrieked, jumped, and hung on Brad. Ah! What's that? Everything's okay. They're just fixing the elevator. Don't be scared. We were hugging and Brad rubbed my back. If the elevator had broken and fallen at the moment, I swear I wouldn't have even noticed. And then the lights turned on and the doors opened. See, we're free. I jumped out of the elevator and rushed up the stairs to my apartment. The bathroom. I need the bathroom now! Brad's scream stopped me at the next stairwell. Hey, Marion! Do you want to go anywhere tomorrow night? And there was a still with some triumphant fireworks, soaring hearts, prancing unicorns, or something like that. Yes, of course! And that's how an unpleasant situation brought me closer to the man of my dreams. Has anything like that happened to you?